stage to that song. There might be a prize if someone can tell me who that is. So, how's everybody doing today? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That good. All right. Well, how about that party last night? Was that pretty good? And I'll tell you what, y'all are some dancing fools. It's good. And the magician, come on. I went back to my room last night and I tried the whole needle and thread thing. I don't know what happened, but I still haven't seen the needle and thread. But I think I saw a porcupine run across my room. So, how many of you have ever experienced burnout? A little bit. Right? What's that look like? What? Ugly, yes. Like you're tired, you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, you're a little cynical, maybe a little grumpy. Well, let's do a little exercise here. How do you start the clock? I get bonus time now. Oh, no, I don't. Huh. Okay, so everybody, for just a second, I want you all to close your eyes with me, all right? Go ahead and open them. I want you. Hey, close your eyes. Okay. Just real quick, let's get our bodies and minds right. Let's take a deep breath in, hold it, and exhale. I'm going to paint you a picture. It's a few days after Christmas. You're walking down the sidewalk on the left side of the street. It's about 10:30 at night. It's cool, but not cold. The street is quiet, but in the distance, there's headlights coming down the street. As the headlights pass under a street light, you're able to see about a half a mile down that is a blue Chevy truck driving towards you. And the next thing you know, you realize that you're having thoughts to yourself saying, you know what? I could solve everyone's problems, including my own, if just at the right time I stepped off this curb and in front of the truck. And then you realize that, wait a minute, this isn't just a fleeting thought because you had a bad day. You are actually having a very real, very conscious tug of war with yourself, trying to not step in front of the truck. Okay, open your eyes. I said, please, quiet. Just have fun. Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. That was me, December 28th, 2014. Don't worry, I didn't step. So why do I tell you that? Well, any engineers in the room? Raise your hand. Okay. I did this for you guys. I know you guys like data and charts. So this is a very scientific graphic here that I came up with. This is a chart to show my happiness level from the time that I graduated high school to the end of 2014. You know, graduated from high school, the green dots. I met my wife, that's that second green dot there. The second highest green dot over there, that's whenever I got married to my college sweetheart. Got laid off. Those blue dots, lost 3 jobs. Birth of my 2 kids, the green ones. I don't know if that can be topped. And did y'all know that there is a real thing called male postpartum depression? For real. No, seriously, for real. Those are those two yellow dots. Right? And then, you know, just this pattern of decline, okay? But then, well, first of all, let me try and explain why I'm on this, like, you know, slope of destruction here, right? I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life. This is my family. I've been married to my college sweetheart, almost high school. I was a freshman in college when we met. I've been married to her for almost 22 years. We have two incredibly awesome kids. Trent, that's Yoda there in the back, and Peyton. Trent's 16 and Peyton is 14, and they're awesome. Yeah, they're a pain in the ass, but they're awesome. I have 3 wonderful older brothers, 1 wonderful older sister, and we are lucky enough to have our beautiful parents still with us. My dad just celebrated his 83rd birthday a week ago. They live in San Antonio, Texas. They've been married for 60, God knows how many years. I have 2 awesome dogs. By the way, I did not plan to have dogs in my slides. So I didn't try to.
I can share.
That's Rocky and Wheeze. They're awesome. So, something happened January 1st, 2015. I can't really explain it other than I got tired and stopped buying my own bullshit. You're probably thinking, well, Matt, you have such a great life. I mean, I have a good job. I get paid well. You know, I have a big house, a big backyard. What on earth would cause me to almost step in front of a truck a few days after Christmas? But see, that's the thing about burnout, is it's very sneaky, and it disguises itself. And if you're not careful, you can wind up like I did, or like a very good friend of mine, who one day got a wake-up call. She woke up and had tremors or shakes. And I'm not talking about the kind of shakes that probably 25 or 30 of us woke up with this morning. Different kind of shakes, okay? I'm talking about uncontrollable shakes through her whole body, okay? Another good friend of mine had a stroke and almost died. Doctors couldn't come up with why these things happened to these good friends of mine. They were otherwise perfectly healthy. They chalked it up to stress. Okay? But like I said, burnout, it disguises itself as stress, as busyness, as tiredness, fatigue, insomnia. Okay? So what do we do about it? I'll tell you what doctors and Google will tell you to do about it. Get more sleep, eat better, exercise, learn how to say no, and take some time off or a leave of absence. Now, those are all very good words of advice. You need to do those, and Susan reinforced that. Our dogs do those, right? But realistically, eat better. I mean, the diet business is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? There's a reason for that. Because it's hard to do all the time. Get more sleep. Oh yeah, how many people just have a bunch of extra time running around where they can just take a nap or sleep in all the time, right? Or on a regular basis. I don't. My favorite is the last 2 are my favorites. Just say no and take time off. Oh yeah, I'm going to take a leave of absence. Excuse me, boss. I'm going to take the next month off because, you know, I need to relax so I don't wind up in a hospital. I mean, honestly, we all need our paycheck, right? So, something happened to me that none of those things was enough. Those are just treating symptoms, okay? What it was a mind change, okay? And I called it Project Positron. I named it on January 1st, 2015, at 9 o'clock in the morning. So, I'm going to give you 4 things that you can do, okay? And they're not easy, but they are very, very, very real. And Susan has known me for a long time, and she can attest to this, okay? The first thing is you have to change your mindset. You have to quit thinking negatively about yourself, about anything, work, your spouse, your dog, your kids, that project, it doesn't matter. You have to force yourself to switch it to positive, okay? I know that sounds really, really silly, but it works, okay? Infinite Possibilities is a book that was written, and it taught me that thoughts become things, so choose good ones. Well, it's amazing what you can do. When you give negative real estate in your brain, when you let it just sit there, or that it's repeating, like Susan said, when you get out of bed every morning and you go, oh, no, another day. That's negative thoughts, and it is poisoning your mind. So you have to change it. And again, it's not easy, but it can be done. Our brains are naturally wired to go negative, automatically go to the negative, because it's a survival instinct. When the cavemen were out there walking around and they said, hey, what do you think's in that bush? The answer was, I don't know, but it's probably something bad, because they didn't want to get eaten. So it's instinctual. So you have to train yourself to do this. And it can be done, because I was once told in a meeting, a professional meeting, in front of probably 20 people, by a friend of mine, that I was one of the most negative people he had ever met. I got mad at it, because Project Positron hadn't started yet, so I lashed out at him. I thanked him a year after Project Positron started, because it was a wake-up call. The second thing is you need to embrace the contrast. What do I mean by this? I mean, life is an adventure. So what happens on adventures? Think about the last adventure movie that you saw. I just went and saw King Kong, the new King Kong movie. What an awesome movie. But you know what? That was an adventure, and there was a lot of bad stuff that happened to that. Well, that's life, people. Bad things happen. And the sooner that you can say, you know what? Yeah, that sucked that I just got into a car accident, or that guy just rear-ended me. But you know what? It's okay, because without the bad times, you cannot appreciate the good times. And that's real. It sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, it's real. Have you ever laughed so hard that you just couldn't stop laughing? Right? That's like, to me, that just is like the picture perfect of, I can't have any more fun than this, right? Well, imagine if you did that for 24 hours. That would suck, right? So you have to take the good with the bad, okay? And the sooner that you understand that everything happens for a good reason, not everything happens for a reason. That's crap. It's everything happens for a good reason. Even the worst things that can happen, because there's lots of bad things that happen to us, right? You may not know what that good reason is right then. You might not know the week after. You might not know the year after. You might never know. But I promise you, something good came of it. Okay? And I'm telling you guys, I'm living proof of this. I've changed my attitude, and now my life doesn't suck. I enjoy my beautiful family and my dogs. I still have bad days, don't get me wrong, but I don't have bad weeks or months, okay? And I'm sorry, but I don't believe that any amount of sleep and eating a bunch of kale, okay, and taking a month off is gonna cure that. I spoke to a young woman who took my survey earlier. I've been researching this for about a year and a half. How many people took my survey? Okay, good. We're going to do the drawing later. I spoke to a woman, she reached out to me and told me that she took a 6-week hiatus because she was in the hospital for stress and burnout, essentially. They didn't call it burnout, they just called it stress. She said, I got better, I eased back in, and I went to work. And she says, Matt, I'm scared to death because I can feel it all happening again. She said, I'm so glad that you're talking about this. We don't talk about it. Why? Because we're afraid that we're going to be seen as weak or that we're not doing our job, right? Well, I call BS on that. It's not worth it, people. And if you look, I'm right under the green dot, and it's just climbing. Life is beautiful. Okay? The third thing, or the fourth thing, actually the third thing that you need to do is you need to know that you are enough. Okay? You are smart enough. You are good looking enough. You are tough enough. It doesn't matter that you just fell on your face and failed at something. Because guess what? Every minute is a new minute. And how you react to that is what's going to do it for you. Okay? The fourth thing, I kind of already said it, is that you need to adopt the philosophy that everything happens for a good reason. It makes the really bad things, it makes all bad things just a little bit better and easier to stomach. Well, I don't know what good is going to come of this. You know, me getting into a car accident, or God forbid, you know, a death in the family or something like that. But you know what? I trust that something good is going to come of this. It's going to make someone or something better in the world. I went from asking God, what is this it? I'm 40 years old, I'm in the prime of my life. This is all you got? Sorry, buddy, but I'm not impressed. To life is beautiful. I can't wait to do all kinds of things. Even get up and go to work. So, if anybody has any questions about this, I would love to talk to you about it. You can call me, email me, Facebook me, whatever. Don't keep it to yourself. And if you would like, I would love to talk to you about how I did it specifically. It wasn't easy, people, and I'm still on my journey. But I can tell you that you won't believe the difference it will make in your life. Thank you very much.